Hello, I will be showing you a full demo of our site. I'll be explaining features of the site and show you a few ways that agencies have used our technology. Also walk through a bond purchase. This is an example of what every agency receives. It is a free URL white labeled for the agency. It is very simple and easy to navigate. You can look up a bond by state or type. Our system has over 7,000 bonds, and we are continuously adding more and more. We go deep into each state, getting every city of's and municipality's bond forms. For example, California has 352 bonds in the system. There is something important to consider when you are typing in the search. The keyword feature is sensitive to how it is labeled in the system. For example, if you put in contractor's license bond, nothing may come up. But if you shorten it and put just contractor, you will see that there are several bonds listed, including the one that you are looking for. Be sure to shorten your search if you ever need to expand the bonds that appear. And there is no need to ever include the word bond in the keyword search. If for some reason you still can't find your bond, we do have a request button at the bottom of the page. Fill some information out about it. We will find the bond form for you, map it to the system, and email an application when it is complete. If you do happen to have a copy of the bond form, but you don't see it in the system, feel free to email it to support@propellerbonds.com. We will map it and then email you the application. There is also a live chat feature. In the bottom right-hand corner, select the Contact Us button. It is monitored Monday through Friday around 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. We will ask you for your name and email, so if it is outside of working hours or everyone is busy helping someone else in the chat, then your message will be sent directly to our support team via email, and they will respond as soon as they are able. We also assign a commercial and contract underwriter to every agency. So you will have a direct person to reach out to if you can't find your bond form, if you have any questions about applications, or need any help. As you can see, this is an open website and there is no login. Therefore, it can be used both internally or externally. Internally, by you and your staff to transact bonds on behalf of your clients, we do recommend making the URL a bookmark on your web browser. Or you can share it externally as a link in your email signature, through social media, or of course on your website. Whoever buys bonds through the URL is your relationship and you receive the commission. Here are some examples of how different agencies utilize the technology through their websites. The most common is to make it a link. MG Surety Bonds does this through their Buy a Bond page. They do have a Quote Now button, and that takes folks directly to their Propeller website. You can take it a step further. If there are bonds that you tend to write a lot of or ones that you want to market, we can provide you with what's called a static link to a direct application. For example, Brown Insurance Agency writes a ton of notary bonds, so they have created a link for notary bonds on their website. And when that is clicked, it'll drop customers directly into the specific application so they don't have to search for the bond. We can provide static links to any applications at any time. The technology is very flexible and allows you to use and market it however it makes sense for your agency and your customers' needs. Now I will walk through a bond purchase. The example I'm going to use is the Master Plumber Bond in Cleveland, Ohio. Every application has a Preview Bond Form button. You can click that and ensure you're purchasing the correct one. When you click into the application, everything under the How This Works section will be listed. If there's any information needed or statutory requirements, that will be shown there. The entire application is also on this first page, so you can scroll through and see what information is required. We pare down every application to only the information that is needed. The bond name and bond amount will be listed. Please ensure you are reviewing these items and you are purchasing the correct bond and correct amount. If there's ever a question about what the bond amount should be or what bond is needed, that should be on the documentation provided by the client from the obligee, the entity requiring the bond, and or on their license application form. In general, up to $25,000 is instant issue, no credit check, and no indemnity. Of course, there's exceptions to every rule, so sometimes that amount is lower, sometimes much higher. We do have a bunch of bonds that are higher than that that are instant issue. For example, ERISA is instant issue up to 500,000 and business services are instant issue up to 250,000. But if there ever is a credit check, it is just a soft pull and Propeller pays the credit check fee. Now, if there's ever a general indemnity agreement needed or extra information, we will work directly with the client to ensure that gets taken care of. We can act as your bolt-on surety department. Moving through the application, next is the price quote, or what would be the gross written premium. If it is a fixed bond amount, the price appears automatically. If you have to type in the bond amount, the quote will change in real time. Same with renewal term. If they want to purchase more than one, you will see the price update in real time. Most bonds are annual and have 1-year renewal terms, and therefore there is an option to prepay multiple years in advance. But some bonds have a fixed term that is longer than a year. An example would be a notary bond. If the obligee requires a specific fixed term, let's say in this case 4 years, our system will show the renewal term as 1 and will automatically default to the correct term and expiration date. Whatever the price is for the price quote shown will be the amount for the full term. In this case, it is $50 for 4 years. In our other example, it was $250 for 2 years. Please note that you can purchase bonds up to 180 days in advance. If you choose a date that is past that, then a note will pop up showing that. Next, ensure that you select the type of entity the client is, and the respective box will pop up for the individual name or company name. This will be what appears on the bond copy. There's also a note, if they are a nonprofit, then select corporation. At this point, all you have to do is type in the company's name, address, email, phone number. The address is the address of the entity purchasing the bond, whether that's an individual or a company. The contact person does not have to be the same as the business owner. It can be the secretary, associate in the office. This is just the person that will receive the bond documents and paid invoice at the end once the payment is made. If for some reason as the agent you do not wish to have your client receive documents, you can enter your email here, but most of the time this will be the client's information. There is also a spot for you as the agent to include your email for correspondence. Finish the application and confirm you're not a robot. The preview bond form button is at the bottom of every page. We also have this share the link feature, which I will come back to. If you wish to save for later, you can hit this button and email the application to yourself. Everything will be saved when you return. This is an instant issue bond because no credit check is required. When a credit check is required, you will know because questions get added to the application. For example, you will see the owner details populate as well as a credit check consent box. As a reminder, all credit checks are just a soft pull, do not affect the client's credit, and Propeller pays the credit check fee. When you hit next on an instant issue bond, you are taken directly to the payment screen. For a credit check bond, you will instead see a notice that it went to underwriting. You will also receive an email explaining next steps. Every agency has an assigned underwriter, and you will get their contact information when you sign up with us. So you should be able to reach out to them directly if you have any questions about applications. Again, for instant issue bonds, you will be able to pay right away. Another great thing about Propeller is that we do everything direct bill to the client. We allow for debit or credit card payments, so there is no fee for the client using a card. All card fees are paid for by Propeller. Make sure to hit use this card. There is an option for ACH or check, but most payments are done via debit or credit card, and that way we can also set the client up on auto renew. For auto renew, we will send out an email 90 days in advance saying that they will be charged in 30 days for their bond. At renewal, we do provide any documentation required, whether that's a continuation certificate or a new bond form. As the agent, you will get included in all of the payment and renewal correspondence, but you don't have to worry about issuance, billing, documentation renewals. All of that is handled by Propeller. At this point, complete the payment and the bond will be instantly issued and available for download on this screen. But we will also send an email with the documents. After each bond purchase, the client will receive an email stating congrats on your bond purchase. This is also white labeled for your agency, but we do include Propeller support email and phone number because we also service the bonds. If anything needs updating, a data entry error, writer down the road, just notify us and we will take care of it. We also have a change form on our website that you or the client can submit any change requests through. Attached is a white labeled paid receipt. And we of course have a copy of the bond documents. For every bond, we have the information from the application perfectly mapped on the form where it needs to go. We even have it electronically signed and sealed, and a power of attorney is attached. For all intents and purposes, this is a live bond. The client would just need to sign it and in this case, get it to the city of Cleveland. The agency will choose an email that gets CC'd on every bond purchase. And if an agent added their email to the application, it would be CC'd as well. For accounting purposes, on the 25th of every month, unless that falls on a weekend or holiday, then the next business day, we issue a direct deposit commission check and a spreadsheet that outlines all of the bonds that were purchased in the prior month. So you receive these bond purchase emails in real time and accounting spreadsheets on a monthly basis. One thing I did want to go back to was the share the link feature. As you saw, pretty easy purchase process. As the agent, you could have done that on behalf of your customer, or maybe the customer went to your website and did it themselves. Share the link really offers a hybrid method of selling, where if asked by your customer for a specific bond type, you can go into the application, scroll to the bottom of the page, and hit share the link. You can also choose to put your email address in the application so that you'll be included in correspondence. The share the link feature is at the bottom of every page of the purchasing process. Any information that is input in the application before hitting share the link will be saved. So you could decide to put in your email address. If you knew some or all of the client details, you can complete the application and go to the payment screen and hit share the link for your client to pay for the bond as well. When you hit share the link, you can send it to your client and CC yourself. For the sake of the demo, I will be sending it directly to myself. And the client will receive this email, resume application. In the email, there will be a link to get them to the correct page. They can authenticate themselves via email. The correct email to use is whatever is in the to line of the resume application email. So if you as the agent need to get back into it, you can as well by entering this email, which is likely the client's if you sent it to them. They will enter their email and be dropped into wherever you left them off. As you can see, the share the link feature is flexible and can be used as needed. We don't just do transactional commercial business on our platform. We also offer court bonds like probate. It is a generic application that will be used for review, and then we will issue the specific court bond that is required, executor, conservator, administrator, etc. We also offer contract bonds. We have a contractor's pre-qual letter and a bid bond application. Per industry standard, those are free. And we have a performance and payment bond application available as well. We have a great credit-based program, 1 million single over 1.25 million aggregate, but we also can write contract bonds of virtually any size. Please ask us for details if you have any contract needs. If you have any questions or would like to get signed up to receive your free URL and start bonding, please contact team@propellerbonds.com. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to working with you.